Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 101. When we last left our heroes, we regrouped back on Blue Garden, had a little chat with Noah. Noah revealed himself to be the local commander of the GIA, so that's something interesting there. And then we have to keep all of the Eden Zero's crew's accomplishments on the down low, because then the rest of the world would know about the Cat Leaper, I think. Anyway, the rest of the crew headed out. Chris and Cleaner's still with us. Labilia has left because she's an asshole. We're all heading back to Granbell. Also, Rebecca and Noah talked about Captain Connor for a little bit. We don't quite know what happened there. They have some theories. But then we see the Edens 1, with Captain Connor still on board, making their way to Granbell as well, where I'm guessing our two crews will very quickly meet. So let's jump right on into Chapter 101, Singularity. And we have our 11th character file here for no one. I have a little blurred out picture of Captain Connor, but Pino, because she has no memory of Captain Connor, has no idea who he is. Though his little extra stat there is listed as Captain, just a little factoid there. I do get the feeling that there used to be one more member of the Eden Zero crew, but I just can't recall who it is. I wonder if my memory has been damaged. He was a really good pilot and a little perverted, and burble. And so yeah, we just a little gag at Connor's current status. Anyway, we open on the planet Granbell. We see the old kingdom. The Eden Zero has landed, and they all get off the ship, and Pino goes running along. So this is my master's home planet. Now recording the beautiful scenery. And Wise calls after her, "Don't run off, Pino. It might be dangerous." Though I think, because they don't know that the robots all shut down. They think they're still kind of active, but evil now. And Rebecca turns to Shiki. "Shiki, are you sure you're okay?" "Yeah. What if they attack us again? We'll run away, full speed." "They were just affected by a bad virus, that's all. Try not to hurt them too much." So yeah, they very much do not know what actually happened to the robots at Granbell. But Homura turns to Shiki. "I understand." And Hermit's also there, and she kind of smiles. "Wish and Sister should have come with us. They said they're running a ship systems check." "That reminds me, didn't you say the 4 shining stars came from this planet too?" "Yes, but to be more accurate, this is where Ziggy built us." Alright, so that makes sense, because they are robots. Then we looked for Mother together, but we found Shiki on the way and turned back. And that gets Shiki's attention, and she turns to he turns to look at her. But only Shiki and Ziggy came back here. And Shiki asks her, "Where did you find me?" "I don't know. The Shining Star's memory files of outer space have all been erased. I think Ziggy did it on purpose. I wonder if there's something he didn't want us to know." Also, one thing I forgot to mention in last chapter is that a light started shining in Ziggy's eye, one of Ziggy's eyes. So we'll see how important that is going forward. Probably a lot, though. Anyway, I wonder if there's something he didn't want us to know. And Wise kind of ruffles Shiki's hair. "Maybe it's related to where you found this guy." "I am curious, but I don't care that much." And Wise kind of grins at him. "Maybe it was a latrine. I really hope not. But it doesn't change the fact that it was Grandpa and the folks here who raised me." And Rebecca smiles wistfully at that, and Pino up ahead calls and points to something. "Master, look!" And we see a robot who's fallen over, and Shiki finally sees what the robots of Granbell kept from him. As the street is just littered with, dead robot bodies. And everyone looks on in horror. "Mithra, Annie, John, Sir Castellan." And Happy looks at them. None of them are moving. It's like their engine's cut off. And Shiki sees Michael's body. And he takes another look at him and starts to tear up. "Michael." And Rebecca looks around thinking, did the virus do this to them? But Hermit thinks for a moment, and then she looks at lifts one's head up. "They're all out of ether. All the machines on this planet were powered by ether, but it dried up, and when that happened, they all shut down. And I'm not finding any signs that they were ever infected with any virus." Now that Shiki is shocked by that and starts to tear up. Meanwhile, Hermit is kind of looking into, I guess, the robot's data files. But anyway, Rebecca questions her. "What do you mean? They were infected. I saw it too." "Maybe Log will tell us something." We hear some beeping coming from the robots. And we see a video recording of Ziggy and the robots. And Ziggy tells them, Our lives will only last a few more years. We machines can no longer avoid this fate. Please, before our time is up, help Shiki to reach the skies. And Shiki watches this now. The tears are streaming down. We cut to another video. This is I think this is Castellan, the king. But what are we to do without the Demon King? We lack the technology to build a spaceship, or any way to contact other planets. Our only choice is to wait until someone arrives from another planet. I only hope we do not break down before then. Do not neglect your daily repairs. Ha ha ha. Then the screen changes again. My Lord Castellan, the girl, she... Yes, I know. She's a human from another planet. So now Shiki is seeing that scene from the first chapter that we saw, but he never did. Attention all androids. The plan goes into effect tomorrow. We will play the roles of bots infected with a virus that makes them hostile to humans. Now Shiki finally realizes what happened all that time ago. And Castellan, after his defeat in the first chapter, kind of like raises his hand to the sky. I'm glad it worked. Humans must not stay on this planet, because once we stop moving, they would be all alone. If we hadn't, he'd have stayed here forever. He was all, I'm gonna fix all of you. And Castellan turns to the crowd. You all performed your parts well. And Happy and Rebecca are both shaking. No, it was an act? All of it? And Shiki threw his tears. You're kidding. Right, guys? And Wise, who is straight up not here for any of this, asks, what happened? And Homer responds, if I were to guess, the machines acted the part of villains to compel Shiki to leave the planet. Pino looks up at Shiki, tears in her eyes. Master? And Shiki shakes. And just then, is that Ziggy? That looks like Ziggy's foot, who is like arrived with the crew. And Shiki, notices something, if he doesn't know what yet. Rest in peace, ye noble bots. And Shiki turns around. What? And yep, there is Ziggy, alive again, with a horn missing, beat up, battered, has like moss on his shoulders, but alive. Grandpa? Ziggy! My real master? He is the Demon King? And Rebecca turns to him, but, Wise, I thought you said he was dead. My mentor told me that as well. That was Homer, of course. And the group stares down Ziggy. Grandpa, you're alive. And Ziggy just looks at him. Grandpa, and Shiki runs towards Ziggy, and Ziggy raises his hand, and this crack appears in the ground between him and Shiki. And it's like a little square with only Shiki on it, separated from the rest of the ground. And Shiki falls. The rest of the group falls too amid all the rubble. Eek! Whoa! Ziggy, what are you doing? The ground is... This is some real intense gravity. Wise tries to, push himself up. I cannot move. And in the cracks that have formed in the ground, all the robots kind of fall through. And Rebecca calls out, they're all... And Shiki stands up to call out to Ziggy. Grandpa, you gotta stop this. And Ziggy focuses his ether again, and Shiki slams to the ground. Happy calls out, Shiki! Shiki, I was wrong. And Shiki looks at him confused. I should never have raised you, or have sent you into the skies. Grandpa, what are you talking about? What ugly, foolish creatures these humans are. Okay, that's new. Is Ziggy gonna turn out to be the bad guy now? And Hermit, remembering the lessons of her arc, yells out, they're not. Humans come in all kinds, just like bots. You can't assume they're all evil. Of course, there are humans that I can use. And just then, out of the clouds, comes the Eden's One. What's that ship? Now is the age of mechanical life forms. We will rule over all humankind. And the Eden's One, comes down, over Ziggy, who is now, raised on a little hill over Shiki. It's a really great shot composition, all I'm gonna say. Though I will say, this does sound very suspiciously similar to what the robots were saying back in Chapter 1, which makes me hella suspicious of anything that Ziggy is saying right now. Though I don't know why he would lie about this. Just because, we know why the other robots lied, to get Shiki off the planet. I don't know what happened to Ziggy while he was dead, first of all. Anyway, everyone like looks at we get Shiki, Rebecca, Wise, Homura all looking at Ziggy in shock. And then we see Pino and Ziggy. And Ziggy says, Pino, come. You belong with us. What? And that's it. To be continued, chapter 102, Time to Say Goodbye. I thought I saw the page there. I was wrong. But yeah. This was kind of a big chapter. And I get the title chapter with Singularity. I thought the Singularity was a time-related thing, but I forgot that the Singularity is like one of those hypothetical sci-fi things about robots taking over the world, which fits with at least what Ziggy is saying that he believes in this chapter. It's such a sudden shift that doesn't really make any sense, and I'm kind of skeptical. But it would be kind of weird to do the same twist twice, given that was the robot's real motive in real twist in chapter 1 is that they were not actually trying to kill all humans. But I don't know. This is such a sudden, out of nowhere shift. I don't really know what to do with it now. Because like I had kind of, because we're still early in the series, I of course don't know where the series is going from here perfectly, but I had kind of a general idea. It's kind of a One Piece style going towards the end. And then we have, of course, the other members of the Erasion States Galactica to occasionally get in our ways. I mean. And I still think that's going to largely be the structure. But now we have Ziggy and the Eden's One, who seems to be completely, counter to that, this other thing going on. Given that the Erasions are all human, and we don't really know what Mother is, but I'm assuming organic at the very least, if she's, the original creation. I don't know. It's such an out-of-left-field twist. I don't honestly know if it works yet. But it's also one of those things, I'm not saying, oh, this is bad writing or whatever. I'm skeptical, but I'm giving Mashima a chance to explain this, because it's very clearly meant to be an out-of-left-field twist. It's not like this should be set up, and it's clearly not. It's very clearly not set up. It's very clearly an out-of-left-field twist to set up, if not the whole story, then at the very least the next portion of the story. But yeah, all that before I even start talking about the beginning of the chapter, which... I mean, the beginning of the chapter works, it gets a little bit of emotions out, but really it's things we've known for 100 chapters now, that they're all dead, and just seeing Shiki learn to react to it. Which was nice, it was necessary at some point, Shiki has to know this. But it still is completely overshadowed by Ziggy's sudden heel turn. Especially because, he was living with Shiki, with the robots, telling them how to make Shiki stronger. And then he died. And so I don't understand how he can have a personality shift while dead. Also, how did he wake up? Maybe somehow Connor woke him up somehow. When he rode in Granbell, he did something to wake Ziggy up. I don't know. I honestly don't know where we're going from here. And so I can keep speculating till the cows come home. But I honestly have nothing else to say. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!